Hello, my Virgo family. This is Barb at Mystic Door Tarot. And before we get started, I am excited to be using the new Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck to finish up the October readings. Minerva Siegel and Abigail Larson are the two women responsible for this fun deck. And also returning this year is my Santa Muerte tarot deck being used for the clarifying cards. And I do apologize for your reading being late. There's been some extreme technical difficulties with YouTube lately. Unexplainable, so it must be in regards to the planetary alignment. This is the third time I am uploading this video. So this is your monthly tarot reading for you, Virgo, for October 20th. Thank you for joining me today. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. And please subscribe and join me each and every day for my quick glance daily readings. Now, always a reminder, these are very general readings. For a personal reading, click on my website link below. Now, this reading consists of each week of the month here, and then a clarifying card for each week. And I've also pulled an Angel Answer Oracle card. So let's get started and see what the cards are indicating for you this month. For your first week, Virgo, you have the Six of Potions, better known as the Six of Cups. Your second week, the Major Arcana card, Judgment. Your third week, the Five of Candles, better known as the Five of Wands. And your last week of October, the Major Arcana card, the Emperor. Excellent, excellent card. And your Angel Answer card is Recovery. Okay, Virgo, going back to your first card in your first week, you have the Six of Potions or Cups. This is known as the Nostalgia card. Now, for some Virgos, you might be taking a trip down memory lane. You might have been cleaning out some closets or drawers, and you came across maybe an old photo album, and you stopped your cleaning and strolled down memory lane, looking at old photos, recalling all the past memories. That's the first message that I'm picking up for the Virgos. That you're cleaning out the clutter in your home and you're coming across old photo albums is what my guides are showing me. And you're really just sitting down and just looking through them all, looking at the precious memories. So this card does have the energy of rekindling, especially to your past. Now, for some Virgos, the Six of Potions or Cups is indicating a reconnection with someone from your past. And it could be a family member, it could be a past friend, a past coworker, possibly an old lover. And when this card shows up, it can be indicating someone showing up from your past. Now, the Six of Cups is actually Scorpio's card, so it is possible that it could be this particular water sign. But the energy of this card is trying to keep the harmony and balance in place, to keep your love and happiness intact. And with 6 being the number of the third eye chakra, this card is actually telling you or warning you that you need to trust your intuition. And possibly whatever is coming back in or a chance acquaintance, make sure that's all it is. This is indicating a reconnection is not in your best interest, Virgo. Now let's take a look at your clarifying card, and you have the Eight of Wands. This is a card giving you the green light and telling you to move forward with your plans. Now, it's always important to see which way the wands are moving, and in some decks, the wands are coming down and coming in, and that has a different meaning. Now, the wands in the Santa Muerte deck are shooting off. And with that being said, the general message with the Eight of Wands is indicating a very intense energy that's coming in quickly. And this clarifying card is actually saying something is going to take off quickly because of the direction of the wands taking off. So this is a card of setting things in motion. This can be very intense, rapid communication. It could be through phone, text, Skype, Zoom. And the warning with this card is to be careful what you're setting into motion, because once it gets going, it's almost impossible to stop this energy. And the other warning is to be asking yourself, what are you rushing into and why? And this is where this card is indicating what your Six of Potions card is telling you, a reconnection, may not be in your best interest. If it is a love reconnection, the Eight of Wands can just indicate passionate romance, being reignited, that kind of swept off your feet kind of energy. You're not thinking straight. And with the Eight of Wands being Sagittarian's card, it could be this particular fire sign. And this card is associated with the planet Mercury, which has to do with communication, your perception on things. And this energy could come in, you could have a weekend romance, and then it could be gone just as quickly. And that's an example of what this energy can do. And that's where the warning to you about this energy. And since this is your clarifying card for the Six of Potions, it's warning you about a reconnection. Now, since this is a general reading, this could be a reconnection with someone that used to be your friend, maybe what we now call a frenemy. So think about that before you would connect back up with this particular person, as they might be wanting something from you and it's a self-serving interest. And the Eight of Wands is warning you to be careful. Now, the only thing that I'm sensing that might be a positive reconnection is maybe someone that you are going to hook up with to go into business together. So if it might have been a business acquaintance, you might benefit from reconnecting with this individual, because the Eight of Wands is indicating possibly what you might work on together if you do reconnect will really take off. So only for this possible scenario would the Eight of Wands be working in your favor, especially in regards to what it's clarifying here with your Six of Potions card. Now, moving on to your second week, Virgo, you have the Major Arcana card, Judgment. And the Judgment card is like a rite of passage. It's a transitional energy. So it's indicating that this current phase of your life is now coming to an end. And that could be why your first week's cards here are indicating not to engage in a reconnection. Your energy here in the second week is moving you on to a new cycle, and you're destined for this, Virgo. Now, the Judgment card is indicated some drastic change will be taking place at this time. You're going to be realizing that your current phase of life is now coming to an end, and you're moving on to something new. And this is positive energy, Virgo, not to worry. And you're kind of reviewing what has taken place before, possibly where you succeeded, if you failed, what lessons you learned. So with this being a general reading, this can certainly be in regards to relationships, partnerships, and friendships. But the biggest message with the Judgment card is your co-partnership with Spirit. This card's indicating to tune into your higher calling, to where to go to next. Pay attention to the bigger ideas that you have at this time, Virgo, and know that they're not impossible. You're going into a new cycle or a new phase of your life, and you need to work closely with your partnership with Spirit in order to get the guidance and direction as to which way to go. The Judgment card showing up is indicating angelic messages coming in, and the message that you will receive will be for your highest good, Virgo. This card has to do with your 6th and 7th chakra. That's your third eye chakra and your crown chakra. So this is specifically in regards to your intuition and how you connect to the divine, spirit, source energy. And looking at the card here in this deck, it's depicted as Santa's naughty and nice list, and as this is called, the Judgment card. But it's simply a time to review, and this is indicating important messages for you this second week of October. Now, the number 20 of the Judgment card is a combination of the numbers 2 and 0. And the number 2 is a symbol of balance, harmony, teamwork with others, relationship with others, and how you adapt, Virgo. But this is also related to your spiritual side. And the number 0 symbolizes source energy, the divine, spirituality. So the number 20 of the Judgment card is that your spirituality and your intuition this month are going to play a very important part in your life, especially in regards to relationships. And again, whether that's friendship, business, or a love partner. Now let's take a look at your clarifying card. And you have the 2 of Swords. Well, actually not a very good clarifying card, as the 2 of Swords is indicating uncertainty on which way to go, and possibly just putting off a decision, being undecided, unclear on what options to take. So in this case, Virgo, it's going back to trust your own intuition and make sure that you tap into your higher self. And make sure your co-partnership with Spirit is strong. Meditate on a daily basis. Just calm your minds and connect. But the message coming through from my guides is to heed the message that's being indicated here with this 2 of Swords. And in this particular Santa Muerte deck, the 2 of Swords has a different meaning. This particular card is indicating that something is not working. Something is particularly difficult. And if you look at the card closely, not only will you see in the handles, the top part of the skull, the eye sockets, the separation, but if you look at the blades, they're working against each other instead of collaborating. So interesting, with this particular clarifying card is indicating confrontation. So the message coming through for your first 2 weeks, Virgo, is pretty much warning you about reconnection with someone or something. It's not a good idea. It's just that simple of a message. All 4 of these cards are serving as some kind of warning in regards to a reconnection. And once again, that can be a love relationship, a frenemyship, as I call it. They're not really your friends, or a possible past coworker. And again, the only thing I saw advantageous was a possible business partnership, but I would still be very cautious about that as well. The number 2 energy of this particular 2 of Swords is about keeping the balance. And with these blades working against each other, that's just not going to happen, Virgo. So a very big message about reconnection in this first half of October for you. Now, going into your 3rd week, you have the 5 of Candles or Wands. And the first message can be that this card's showing up because you have an inner battle going on. This is very scattered energy, so it's almost like you're competing with yourself and your thoughts. Maybe digesting all of the information here. Now, for other Virgos, the 5 of Wands could be showing up as external competition. And this could be problems and conflict. This can indicate a negative energy at this time where there will be personalities clashing and hassles and gossip. And this seems to be in regards to the workplace. Could be a group of people there, or it could be a group of friends. Maybe at a club or association that you belong to. This is a card that pretty much shows up when there's some kind of conflict going on. And when you're working in a team situation, Virgo, it's almost inevitable to have differences of opinions. And so with this card showing up, this can serve as a warning to you, Virgo. Specifically, not to hang on to any idea that you might have in this week, just for the sake of it. The power with this card is to join your energy with that of others around you instead of fighting them. So this is the time to remember what team you're on, Virgo. And this card and this energy could be indicating not to make more of the problems that exist than what they actually are. This is a very fiery energy. This is Leo's card, and with it, the planet Saturn. The number 5 energy of this card presents a challenge, especially if you're introducing new ideas, which is the energy of traveling down a new path. 5 likes to shake things up and break your old habits. And 5 is also the number of the throat chakra, which is concerned with communication. So be careful in regards to what you say and how you say it in this 3rd week here. Now let's take a look at your clarifying card. The major arcana card, the Wheel of Fortune. Well, the first message that my guides are showing me is to pay attention to the position of the card, because it represents the beginning, the middle, or the end of a cycle. So what this card can be showing up for, especially in regards to being a clarifying card for your 5 of Candles card, is in the future can be unexpected but positive events, favorable circumstances and successes, but things that you don't stay with. In other words, it will be something that'll work out in your favor, Virgo. You'll benefit from it, but then you're just going to move on afterwards. This is the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. It continues to move. And the message with this card is indicating that if you don't continue to move and be part of the solution, you're going to be part of the problem. So in other words, the Wheel of Fortune is clarifying your 5 of Candles or Wands card to support new circumstances and outlooks and viewpoints, and face up to any of the changes that come your way. Just proceed to go on with your plans until you have to make certain changes again. And take note that this card is associated with your 7th chakra, so that seems to be a common thread throughout your reading for this month, Virgo. Be sure you have a strong co-partnership with Spirit in order to help you with the multitude of changes that are happening for you this month. As the Wheel of Fortune is powered by the planet Jupiter, which has got to do with your luck and your happiness, your fortune, your health, your status. And this card is the epitome of change and the end of a cycle because it's number 10, completion. But then reducing it down to number 1 is now new beginnings, starting a new phase or cycle. Now moving on to your last week of October, you have another major arcana card, the Emperor, which is the card that's indicating that you have control of your own destiny, Virgo. This is an empowerment card. This is about taking control, having the power, creating happiness and order in your life. And when the major arcana cards turn up, it's an indication of change. And the Emperor energy uses calm, commanding practicality to take control and actually save the day. So even though the Emperor card is actually Aries card, this card is showing up because I feel for many Virgos, you have the same energies and traits as the Emperor card this month. Virgo individuals have the ability to create order and stability and routine on an everyday basis. And with this card showing up, this might be indicating that this new phase or cycle of life that you're headed into, Virgo, is indicating that you might be stepping into a more significant and powerful role than you have ever been in before. Big message coming through with this card. And then using your talents right now, relying on structure and order and practicality, you'll be able to be the best leader that you can possibly be. So one of the messages that's coming through for quite a few Virgos is that you're going to be in some type of leadership role very soon, possibly starting in this last week of October. And that could have a lot to do with what the entire month here is leading up to, completing your phase of life, and the Wheel of Fortune is indicating things are turning, things are changing. And the Emperor showing up has a very fiery and driven and determined energy about it. But I feel that many Virgos are just possessing the traits of this card and energy. And this is affiliated with 2 chakras. The first chakra, it's your root or base chakra, what you're going to build on. And the third chakra, which is your navel chakra, and that's the chakra of will and determination. So that's why when the Emperor card shows up, this is indicating that you have control over your life and destiny. And the number 4 energy of this card signifies stability, structure, discipline. It's the practical parts of life, Virgo. And the number 4 can be a very rooted energy, and that's why the stability. Now let's take a look at your clarifying card. The Major Arcana card, the World. So one Major Arcana card backing up the other. As the World card is once again indicating this is a natural end of a cycle this month for you. This is your destiny. And for some of you, it's going into some type of leadership role, whether it be in the workplace, whether you're going to have to take charge on the home front, whether it's in a group or organization. You're going to be put in charge of something. And it can be in many different directions since this is a general reading, but the World card is indicating where your reading has been headed towards. This is the last stop on the Fool's journey, and this last clarifying card is indicating both endings and new beginnings for you, Virgo. It's indicating that you've learned the lessons from your current phase of life, and now it's time to move on. And that would be indicating why your reading has been pointing to not having any kind of reconnection. You're supposed to move on from everything that was in your past, Virgo. This is like a graduation, and now you're moving on to a new phase or cycle, which is pretty exciting, Virgo. Let go of the past. And the number 21 of the World card reduces to 3. And 3 is about things coming together to become something new. This is creative success, very positive energy coming in, Virgo, and clarifying your Emperor card. Now let's take a look at your angel answer message first before I go into summarizing your reading for the month. And your message is recovery. Okay, Virgo, well, this is where this card comes in. Your angels and guides are indicating that this is a period of recovery and healing for you, Virgo. And for some of you, you might have been having challenging emotions that you're dealing with, and this will fade away. So for some of you, although it may be difficult to see it right now, there is something coming in very happy and joyful, waiting for you in your future. And it will be a little different for everyone. But for now, take all the time you need to regain your strength. And this card can also mean that your recovery is nearly finished or already completed. So this ties into your cards this month, Virgo, in regards to endings and new beginnings. So it's time now to send words of gratitude to Spirit, and then start planning the next exciting phase of your life to begin. So there is your angel answer message for this month of October. You're completing a phase of your life and you're recovering from the previous phase. And now you're moving on. Something new and better. Okay, Virgo, let's summarize your monthly reading. Starting off in your first week, you start off with the 6 of Potions. And for some of you, you are reminiscing, strolling down memory lane, cleaning out the clutter, and coming across old photos and nostalgia. But for other Virgos, this card is an indication of a possible reconnection, and we've already talked about that. Now the 8 of Wands, as your clarifying card, is indicating this is going to be very intense energy coming in, almost like stirring the pot kind of energy, and then leaving just as quickly. So it serves as a warning here in this first week. In your second week, you have the Major Arcana card Judgment, which is a transitional energy. It's telling you that your current phase of life is coming to an end, and whatever has happened so far is now in your past, and you're going to be moving forward. And your clarifying card, the Two of Swords, in this Santa Muerte deck is showing you that a possible decision to reconnect with someone or something is not in your best interest, as the blades are working against each other instead of collaborating, indicating not a good reconnection. Going into your third week, Virgo, you have the Five of Candles. And for some of you, this is indicating all this intense internal scattered energy. You're in conflict with yourself, especially with the endings and new beginnings. Everything just being thrown at you all at once this month, Virgo. But for other Virgos, the Five of Candles is a card indicating the competition around you, differences of viewpoints, opinions, discussions. And this serves as a reminder to be open to others' viewpoints. Remember what team you're on, and it's best for you to work with the team instead of against it. And your clarifying card, the Wheel of Fortune, is reminding you that everything constantly is changing. So if you're not agreeing with something that's happening in this third week of October, this will blow through quickly. The wheel is constantly turning, and the number 10 energy. So something's ending and completing, and you'll be moving on after this week, so no worries here. And your last week, Virgo, is where things are really starting to happen. The Major Arcana card, the Emperor, is showing up. And for so many of you, you are possessing the traits and the energy of this card. This is thinking logically and rationally at this time. This is following the rules, securing the stability. And for many of you, you're going to be offered or put into a position of leadership. And this can be in the workplace. This can possibly be taking on more responsibility at home. Or this can be something where you're in a group or an association and you're in charge of whatever the project is. You're now going to be making the best decisions for your team or family. So this is that number 4 energy of stability. And your clarifying card is indicating you're done with your current journey. And here at the end of the month here is where you're starting, possibly a new position of leadership. You're taking the lead on something during this last week, Virgo. And the number 21 of the World card reduces to 3, and that's new beginnings for you. The angel answer message of recovery is indicating you will be healing, starting this new phase of your life. You're leaving difficulties behind, so be grateful to Spirit. Begin planning for the next phase of your life. Okay, Virgo, your numerology for the month of October here adds up to 35, which reduces to number 8. And number 8 is all about abundance, leadership, and influence. And certainly in your last week here, for so many of you, you will be taking the lead on something, inspiring others, influencing others. And you've got the good, abundant energy to help you along the way. So have patience this month, Virgo, as there's a lot going on with these cards. But it is indicating a few things. Avoid reconnections with anything to do with the past. And this is indicating all endings and new beginnings for you. And possibly in your last week, taking on some form of leadership role. It will be different for everyone, but it will prove to be quite successful. So very exciting energy this month. But it's your last week that's really going to rock this month for you. Now, I leave you with the message of the cards, Virgo. This general reading is just a snapshot to your energy this month. For an extended tarot card reading, click on my website link below. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe and help support my channel. Love and abundance to my Virgo family.